Hey guys, it's Ryan with MyListing Club. In this video, we're continuing on with the MyListing educational series, how to build an online business with the MyListing WordPress theme. In this particular video, we are going to tackle the business column of the MyListing project template. Before we get started, I want to show you how to get your hands on this template. So from the MyListing Club website, mylisting.club, if you scroll down the homepage a bit, you're going to see the MyListing project template card. Go ahead and click on that. Once you do, it's going to tell you all about it, give you a link to purchase it. This is available as a one-off purchase, or if you're an Ultimate member, it's available to anytime you want to download it. Care plan clients also get this anytime they want it. And lastly, if you purchase any starter site from me, it's going to include the project template. Okay. I'm not going to go into everything that's included in this because it's going to be shown to you firsthand throughout this video series. Okay. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. So we're looking now at the the MyListing project template again. We see here that we are now into the business column. So we're working top down, left to right. So that puts us into the brand research task card of the business column. Okay. So what this column basically entails is, let's say on a walk, or in the shower, or lying in bed at night, or whatever, you've had an idea for a business and you want to build it with MyListing. So you've come up with some domain name ideas, business name ideas. That's what this column really is about. It's about thinking about the business side of things before you even get into the website, setting up WooCommerce, setting up MyListing, all of that stuff that's just website specific. This is just the business side of the house. And one of the very first things we want to do is brand research. The last thing you want to do is go out there guns blazing and find out someone is already doing what you did, or worse yet, multiple people are. And the uphill battle to challenge them is, it may not be worth it. So maybe you want to take a slightly different approach, or maybe you want to niche down a little bit more. Those are just things to think about before you just go out there starting to set things up. Okay. Very first thing you want to do is see what called the business name generator. But it's basically finding out what domain names are available. So we're going to go ahead and click on this link. And we're going to scroll down here to the domain suggestion tool. You can get really fancy with what you type in, keywords, hide domains that are unavailable. You can do a price range, certain top-level domains, TLDs. You can do all that sort of thing. So I'm just going to do one here just for fun. I'm going to put in fitnesspro.club and click generate. So here we see fitnesspro.club is available. It is a premium domain, and it's $32.50 a year. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so that is good news. Let's take that same thing there. We're going to continue on. The next step is seeing what social media names are available. So again, the last thing you want to do is go out there and find out the Facebook usernames taken, Twitter usernames taken, all of that stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on that. We're going to go ahead and drop in, let's do Fitness Pro Club. Okay, you can even use this tool if you want to see which domains are available. But we're just going to look at the usernames for now. So let's go ahead and check this, click this button, check usernames. So we see here that Facebook is taken, but YouTube is available, Twitter is available. And let's just say going into this that we really wanted to be on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, okay? And TikTok. Those are like the four because, fitness, TikTok's great for fitness. So we've got 3 of the 4. So you got a decision to make. That's good enough. We can alter the Facebook names a little bit just so it works for us and we don't overlap with those other companies out there. Or you could choose to keep trying different versions of what we put in there in our search until all of the usernames you want light up green. So that's totally up to you there. But what you want to do is you want to you want to be getting the social media accounts where you know you absolutely need to be, and then going a step further, maybe grab some that you don't necessarily need right away, but you could use in the future. So right now you may not need to be on TikTok, but you know, if you can grab that up right now, you might as well do it. But if it's something you just, you know you're never going to be on Pandora, like, don't waste your time going and getting that, okay? So that's what this is all about. So for the purposes of what we're doing here, let's just assume we've got the domain name we want. Our social media is also working too. We can get all the accounts we want there. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is move on down to 2FA. The reason I put this card so high up in this process is because from here on out, we're going to be creating online accounts. You want to start using 2FA with every online account you have. Some of them are more important than others, but I would just say get into a habit of using 2FA on everything. If someone is to get into one of your accounts, they can damage your reputation. They can just wreak havoc on your business. Okay. For 2FA, I use the Microsoft Authenticator mobile app. It's free. It works great. There's other alternatives out there that you can use. So just see what works for you. But most importantly, just use 2FA. It's really simple to use. 2FA just means two-factor authentication. It's something you have and it's something you know. So what you know is your password. What you have is your phone, which is the mobile authenticator app in this particular case. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on down. Next up is our domains. Like I said, we know that the domains are available. We just need to go grab them now. I recommend registering your domains with Cloudflare. If you click on this link in the template, it's going to take you right to the registrar page of Cloudflare. The reason I recommend Cloudflare is because I recommend Cloudflare in general. So if you're going to be having Cloudflare sit in front of your site, managing your DNS and your security and things like that, you might as well go and use them as a registrar too. The other benefit to doing this is Cloudflare is typically cheaper. So if it's $15 somewhere else, it might be $13 on Cloudflare. You just got to see what's out there, okay? So as part of this template, you'll get a link to my Cloudflare guide, which is free. You can also a link to Namecheap if for some reason the domain is not available on Cloudflare. You can go over to Namecheap, and there's other alternatives out there for registering your domains. There's Hover. There's all kinds of options there. Okay. 2FA, I'll bring it up again, is really important with your domain accounts, your online accounts. If somebody gets into your domain account, your domain registrar, they can hold your business hostage. Really bad stuff. If you've got multiple domains, just think about how bad that could be. They could get in there and change all kinds of stuff, steal your domains as a worst case scenario, all kinds of other bad stuff. So really secure those accounts. Next up is your email hosting. It's time to go out and get professional email. This is, in short, using your your business domain with your email addresses. So instead of going out and get ryan@gmail.com, which looks unprofessional, you want to go out and get the actual domain of your business into your email. So that's ryan@mylisting.club, for example. So that's what you want to do. I use Microsoft 365. I've been using it since it's basically been out. Since it has been out, actually. Very long time. I love it. You can use alternatives like Google Workspace and other solutions. I've been a Microsoft professional for a very long time. If you guys need help setting it up, I'm happy to set that up as part of the MyListing website support. Not a problem. It's all really easy to do. I mean, it's basically signing up, punching in some DNS information, and setting up the accounts. It's really easy stuff. All right, moving on. Continuing on kind of with that part too is the email setup. This is just a checklist, a simple checklist saying add your professional email accounts to your email apps, and in my case that's Outlook. Create your email signatures for all of your brands, and then test the sending and receiving. Just make sure those emails are coming in and going out. Okay. Next on down is Google account. So what a really important thing to me anyway is keeping all of the noise about all of these online entities, whether it's Google Analytics, Google Search Console, the website itself, just all these different things, YouTube, anywhere that you can sign in with an email address that could potentially constantly hit your inbox with email, all kinds of emails. Yeah, you can unsubscribe to a lot of that stuff, but I recommend just setting up a Google account for the sole purpose of being used with your website stuff. Okay, just keep the noise out of your main inbox. Okay, so that's all that is. It's saying go out and create a Google account and then document the account using a password manager. I use Bitwarden. It's a free extension for your browser. Another popular one is LastPass. Just use whatever you're comfortable with there. Moving on down is the color scheme. This one's really simple. It's basically defining what in my listings case, you think of like your accent color. This is the color that appears all over a MyListing website. So really important to nail that color, and then all the complementary colors, your black shades of black, your whites, your grays, your whatever, and then your other primary colors. So I give you a few links here where you can do some research and find out what works for you. Brand colors is like the major players out there on the internet. It's what they're using. So if you would like to mimic something that say Airbnb does, which they don't give you a whole lot there, they basically give you their accent color. Trying to think here. Some of them are not giving you everything. Stripe would probably be a big one. Let's see if they have that in here. Yeah, they give you one color, but you get the idea. So that's just one thing that you could look at. Sony gives you a lot, but that's one thing you look at. You can look at this one. Yeah, fine. Give me all cookies. You can use this one to generate your color palette. Really nice stuff. You can do some random ones. You can alter it directly from here. Really good stuff. You can check these out. But basically, we're just defining our color scheme, and we are documenting it here. Okay, and we do it this high in the process because this is where we kind of start needing to do our color scheme. I could have probably put this up a little bit further because of the email setup, and maybe I'll do that, for the signature, because at this point you may or may not have your logo though, but color scheme is part of that logo, getting your color scheme into the logo and into your signature if you want to use your logo in your signature. But other than that, you don't really need to get into your color scheme quite yet, so it's probably fine where it is. All right, YouTube channel. It's like I say here, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world next to Google. And then some experts say that you might get found on YouTube before you'll ever get found on Google. So this is really important stuff if you're going to share information, if you're going to educate your user base. If you've got a MyListing website fired up and someone's curious and they go out, they're on YouTube and they're like, hey, I want to see if so-and-so's directory's out here. And they hit that and all of a sudden, oh, okay, so they see you've got a series of videos educating them on how to use your platform, or maybe you've got a specific channel that just relates to your platform, like fitness videos and things like that. So really helps drive awareness to your brand. I would really check that out. And I've got a guide here for how to set all that up. Moving on down, we're in social presence. This is kind of an extension of YouTube because YouTube is a social presence. But as it says, you've got your domain names, you defined your color scheme, it's time to build your social presence. Okay? And then this just walks you through a checklist of getting those social media accounts that we found in the brand research phase. So go out and grab those social media accounts, build each of them out, applying consistent branding across all of them. So this is where your color scheme is going to come into play again. set up communication channels between your social media accounts and your website to ensure two-way communication where it makes sense. So that's just saying link up those social media accounts to your website, get them talking to each other if that's something you want to do. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Stripe account. This could actually be, I could have a lot of entries in here because there's so many different payment methods. My preference is Stripe. Stripe is not available everywhere. It's available in most places, but it's not available everywhere. So Stripe, this may not even apply to your business, but if it does, I walk you through the steps to the high-level steps to set that up. It's not a difficult process, but the checklist helps so you don't have to like fumble around. Okay, PayPal's another one. I could put that in there. PayPal is a little more convoluted. It feels like they change the instructions all the time, and it's just hard to maintain that, so I left that out. But I'd say for a majority of you out there, Stripe is going to be an option, so that's why I put that one in here. All right, moving on down, booking. As I say here, another great option for connecting with users, potential partners, is to include the ability for them to book time with you and chat with you. And then I've given some recommendations below for booking solutions. If you click this link, Booking Solutions Discount, it's going to take you to the club, and it's going to already filter by any solution I've got out there for booking that you can get a deal on, okay? Book Like a Boss, this links to a guide I've written. This Book Like a Boss is what I use across all of my brands, all my websites. Calendly and Calendar is another option. Calendar also has a discount associated with it. Book Like a Boss has a discount associated with it. Okay, moving on down, policies. Super, super important. What I see a lot of times is people will just steal policies from other websites. We'll call it borrow them from other websites. Now, when you are just starting out, there are resources out there. Automatic's website, the owners of WordPress, if you want to call it the owners, they have an open source set of policies that you can take from them and manipulate them for yourself. So as you're just starting out, you could go that route but you got to be super careful in the language that's in there. You can't just copy their policies verbatim and drop them on your site. It's likely not going to work for your particular business. So you just got to be really careful about that. I highly recommend Termageddon. So what this service is you get a dashboard, you go in there, you say the type of policy you want to create. Let's say privacy policy, for example. It's going to ask you a series of questions about you and your business. You punch all of it in. It outputs this embed code that you just drop into your website. It's super, super easy to use. The other real beauty about this software is that anytime that the terms of any of these policies change as far as the government is concerned, it automatically updates those policies across any of your sites where you've embedded that code. Really cool stuff. So it just protects you automatically. You don't need to always worry about, are the laws changing and I need to go and edit my manual policies. So really beautiful stuff. I've got a guide on the club website and a discount as well. So I would really check that out. And I have that on some of the starter sites, maybe all of them by now. So let's just look at one of those. So here's one of the starter sites. If we go to the bottom, so this one is vow.mylisting.club, and you click on let's click on privacy policy here. So this is just showing you can get the discount, 20% off, kind of explains what it is, and it's a link to it. But this is a real life Termageddon privacy policy. This is one that I generated using their software, okay? Really cool stuff. Okay, moving on down, services. So this is saying, let's say you have a photography site that you're building with MyListing, and you obviously have services that, well, not obviously, but maybe you have services. So you're a photographer, you do weddings, you do professional photos of dogs, whatever it may be. This is just basically saying add those services to your site to supplement your income, or maybe that's the main purpose, is to drive people from your MyListing site to your services. This is just saying add those. So an example of that might be, let's just say that let's say you're a writer, but you have you do copywriting. Let's say you've got a real fondness for dogs. So you create a dog directory on MyListing. Then you can have like a section of your services and copywriting. So you could help anybody that's doing anything in the dog industry with writing. So whether it's copy for their website, brochures, whatever. So that's what I'm saying here. And then the other thing I'm saying is, if there's something that you don't do, you could partner up with other people and list their services on your site and maybe work out a deal to where you get a finder's fee, or they do something for you, you do something for them, sort of situation. Lots of things there. But basically this is just saying, get your services on your site. It's not just about you either, so you don't have to feel guilty about that. You're helping people find services easily. So definitely check that out. Next one kind of goes hand in hand. It's partnerships. So those outsourced services I was talking about, go out, look for partnerships from people that do things that you don't do that could add value to your directory. Or maybe you don't even care. Maybe you're fine with the competition. You just want to be able to offer your customers of your website to have the best experience possible. So get those strategic partnerships formed, help people save money, help people easily get their hands on services, and so on. Moving on down, we want to think about our pricing model. And for that, we'll just look at the steps here. I think that's the easiest way. Define a naming convention for your packages that matches your brand and message. So a lot of times, you'll see like gold, silver, or platinum, but maybe it's more catchy depending on your site to do something unique for that. So like, your basic plan could be like the puppy package, and then the medium one could be medium dog, and then the top tier could be big dog. Things like that. You just gotta walk the fine line between being too cute and corny versus cute and catchy. You know what I mean? So something to look at there. With the MyListing specifically, you want to look at, do you want to use the default listing packages, or do you want to use listing subscriptions? There are pros and cons to both. I always err on the side of listing subscriptions. With that, it does require the WooCommerce subscriptions plugin, so there's a bit more cost associated with that, but it's just a more beautiful experience in terms of upgrading, downgrading your plans. The listings stay active for as long as the subscription is paid for. So anybody that's ever used or bought a subscription before, how it all works, and it works great. So something to think about there. Next up is defining the feature set of your packages, taking advantage of the MyListing's package visibility. So what that is hiding and showing certain fields based on what product that your customers buy for your MyListing site. Okay, so let's say you don't want them to be able to list their social media accounts if they don't purchase your pro plan. That's an extreme example, but it's an example. And we'll get in like a lot of this stuff as we get into building the site. We'll get into this stuff a little bit more. This is more like a high level overview at this point. Next up is defining the cost of your packages. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. Next up, decide if you're going to offer free trials. See if that makes sense for your business. And lastly, consider a VIP or founding members offering. That's basically just saying, hey, for the first 100 people that sign up for believing in me, trusting in what I'm doing here, putting their faith in me, I'm going to give you a discount for getting on board early. Okay. The last thing I want to say about this is lifetime plans and annual plans. You got to think about how serious you are about your business. If you offer lifetime or annual, let's say you go a year, you have a change of heart, you don't want to do this business anymore, you got to think about, are you prepared to refund thousands of dollars? I mean, it also depends on how much you're charging, but let's just say you're doing $100 a year or $200 a year or $300 a year, and you multiply that by all of the people signed up for your site. Are you prepared to refund that if you've had a change of heart? Is that money in the bank that you can readily give back to your customers? I really wanted you to think about that. I'm not saying don't do it. It's just something to really think about versus doing, a monthly plan. Okay. Next up is the newsletter. So you want to think about doing a newsletter once you have enough content that you can generate and send out to people on a regular basis. The last thing you want to do is set up a newsletter, go through all that time, and you're only going to send them once every 6 months. It's not really worth your time at that point. But I definitely recommend setting up a newsletter to keep people in the loop with what's going on your website. And as part of that, you're going to add a newsletter to these different areas, and I have a checklist here for the places where it's pretty obvious where you should put it, depending on your project and your site. There's a link here for newsletter solution discounts. Right now we just have the newsletter glue discount, but there will probably be more coming. Okay, moving on down. Founding members onboarding. So I kind of alluded to this before in the pricing model, but you're going to think about your strategy for founding member onboarding. Is it a certain number of people that can get in? Are you going to do a couple rounds of that where you the price is at one point and then the first 50 get X amount off, the next 50 get a little bit lower off, and so on? Are you going to do that in phases? How are you going to communicate with these people? All of those things. How are you going to make them feel special and feel like they're getting a deal by getting in early and supporting you? Those types of things. Okay, moving on down is the affiliate program. This is a really easy way to get the word out. If the people are willing to do it for you, it's an easy way as far as being implemented. So not difficult to implement. It's a little bit more difficult to implement to get people to buy in to helping you spread the word. But if you do good work and you help people and they feel like other people can benefit by what it is you're offering, then the affiliate program can work wonders. Okay, I've got a discount here for affiliate WP, and I've got a guide for how to set it up. When I set up the club, I'm not sure exactly when it was. It's probably 2 years. The club's been around for almost 3 years, but I did the affiliate program with affiliate WP probably about 6-8 months to a year after the launch. It went okay, but it didn't get the traction that I thought it would for one reason or another. I just think it's a bit difficult to convince people to take the time to go out and be an affiliate for you, even if they feel that what you're doing is the right thing. It's just, I just find in general people are too busy to be bothered with that stuff. But I do recommend giving it a shot. It's not an expensive thing to try and do, but it could pay off immensely. If you've got a following already, a tribe, this thing could work like gangbusters for you. So definitely something to check out. All right, the last thing here on our business task list is social media reviews. As the website owner, you should have reviews or testimonials on your the base part of your website, let's call it. Not necessarily the MyListing part, but just the base website. So let's say, for example, you are a wedding officiant and you yourself have reviews. So you're the website owner, you're a wedding officiant, you've got all these reviews. I recommend having those reviews posted on the main parts of your website for yourself. In addition to that, once you get into the listings side of things, your listing owners are going to want to have their Google reviews added to their listings as well. So there's two components to that. Okay, but as some people have told me, reviews are everything to their business. Without the reviews, I mean, it would be a really bad thing. I don't know how else to put it, but reviews are everything to them. So what I have here is a discount for Embed Social and a guide for Embed Social. This allows you to embed reviews on your main website as well as embed them in the listings. And it comes at a really heavy, generous discount. I've really checked that out. There's also a guide that you can distribute to your listing owners as well. So I would really check that out. Okay, guys, that wraps up the business column here. We rushed through this, so I know everybody's busy. I don't want to sit on here all day going through all of this, taking up your time. Once you get the project template, just read through the stuff, follow the links. That's where you're going to get the most value. At this point, you've defined the name of your business, your branding, you've got your accounts ready to rock, your policies are ready to be put in place, you're thinking about partnerships, pricing models pretty much set, you're ready to start reaching out to founding members and building that up over your social channels and your other personal connections and all that. You're excited about your affiliate program you're going to start and all that stuff. You've got a solid foundation in place. Now in the next video of the series, we're going to be getting into the website itself, and that's setting it up. So whether it's setting up Cloudflare, the web hosting on down to the WordPress settings, and then getting into setting up a coming soon page, a little bit of elementary stuff for a 4-page chat widget, setting up some transactional emails. That's the stuff we're going to get into in the next video or 2 or 3. I don't know how I'm going to break those out depending on time, but that's where we're headed next. And I hope this helps. Be sure to subscribe so I can keep doing these videos and so you can know when the next one comes out of the series. All right. Thanks, y'all. Talk to you later.